I think when you join a terrorist group, you lose your human rights. You lose your citizenship to come back to the country that you... I mean, ISIS, they want to kill British people. She chose to go and join them, so why should she come back and live amongst British people?
Yeah. They want to destroy our way of life. Yeah. And for that...
She was a child when she went, but she was adult enough to get on a plane and make her way to another country.
It's all very depressing, though, isn't it? Because I agree, I don't think she should come back either, but the problem is there'll be an army of lawyers out there and there's a whole set of precedents, because I think it's about nearly 150 ISIS fighters, men, have been allowed to return to this country. I don't know where they are. No one knows where they are, whether they're being watched, whether they've been locked up or what. No one knows. But that's the precedent, and she'll be back. And I find it depressing because I don't think that we've got a single politician in this country who's got the backbone, shall we say, to do anything about it and put their foot down, because it really is serious. You can't just have people swanning off and joining ISIS and then going, I'm bored now, I want to come back.
In fairness
it's just not on.
In fairness to them, they probably do, a lot of them would want to do that, but they're restricted by the law.
Well, the Home Office Security Minister, Ben Wallace, has just this morning said in other cases where people have been detained and brought back back to the UK under control, they can expect to be investigated, interviewed and prosecuted if evidence against them is shown. I'm assuming that process in itself is a lengthy one.
Yeah. Evidence
well,
of what?
they'll probably question her before she's even allowed back on a flight. So she's in a camp at the moment. Now, I'm totally with you. I think if she's 19 years old and just, you know, on her own, see ya. You made that choice, you stick with it. But for me, the fact that she's 9 months pregnant, she's lost 2 babies already, one through malnutrition. And I think as a civilised country, it would be very hard to leave a 9-month pregnant woman to have a baby that ultimately will inevitably die again.
So should we let the baby in then?
That's
just
my issue. Well, that baby has rights. Irrespective of its mother's decision that she made when she was 15 years old. But you also have to look at, did she herself commit a crime? So she's gone off, obviously, on the promise of, you know, 15-year-old girl, bit of romance, this lovely kind of, you know, handsome ISIS fighter, I have no idea. She was married within several weeks of actually arriving there and has had this, what you might almost look at, faintly sort of medieval lifestyle, where she's just been having babies, 2 babies died, she's pregnant again. I just think, where is the crime on her part? Yes, she's gone to marry an ISIS fighter, but if she hasn't actually killed anyone herself, you would struggle as a country, and I'm just speaking as devil's advocate here, to say that she is an international criminal who cannot be allowed back in this country. So that, for me, is the dilemma. And if I did allow her to come back into this country, it would be very much on the proviso that she was heavily monitored, because the big trouble for me is that she's not expressed any remorse. Well, her attitude is,
none.
Yeah. I want to come back for the sake of my baby, but she's not actually saying what I did was wrong.
Yeah.
Now, I think she should be put in every television studio and every school across the country to lecture other young girls on how terrible that decision was and how they should not follow that path.
A lot of comments have been that she seems so sort of desensitised to it now. Where is her head at?
I mean,
is she so removed
she's
from...
almost in shock, the journalist who interviewed her. He said, I wouldn't necessarily take how she's speaking at the moment as you know, how she is inside, because she is completely in shock, in a camp, 9 months pregnant, and not knowing what to do.
The thing is, OK, she's been radicalised, I guess. Is she malleable enough to be de-radicalised? But do we take that risk?
Who knows? I don't know.
Would you trust her?
I wouldn't.
Nor would I.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what they would do. I mean, she is going to get back. I'm pretty certain about that. But what they do with her when she gets here, who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, you know...
It's such a complex problem for the authorities, to be fair, isn't it? I mean, how on earth are you going to deal with that? I mean,
She is still a British citizen as well.
Yeah.
I mean, again, you could have an argument about did she give up her British citizenship the second that she got on that original plane to Turkey? And I would argue yes, but at the moment she's still a British citizen, which
Legally,
makes her
no.
baby, I guess, half British citizen.
Yeah. Well,
wherever they're born.
asked you at home, should Shamima Begum be allowed back into the UK? 93% of you said no. She shouldn't be allowed back. Several of you are saying they'll bring the baby here, her family here can look after the baby and send her back. That's from Scarlett. Gemma says no, she knows too much. The government needs to put a stop to this. Emma says no, but I do believe they should try and get the baby back to the UK. It isn't right that the baby will be brought up there. So, as you say, there's a lot of sympathy, if that's the right word, for the unborn child, but maybe not so much for her. It's a tough one, isn't it? And like we say, a very complex one, but it will unfold undoubtedly over the next few weeks.